Record. Okay. Didn't get into too much, right? All right. So first of all, I've got my notes here because I don't want to miss anything. Some of you are brand spanking new. Some of you have recently decided to jump into the business. And then we've got a couple of leaders here on the call that are helping to support the page, support coaching you all. If you're brand new, welcome to the group. You guys are part of a world-class company. You may not know it yet, but you've landed in a really sweet spot with an amazing team, amazing culture, and phenomenal opportunity, and just amazing tribe. You know, everyone on this line, it starts with a personal transformation, these products. Obviously, we're here tonight, and the purpose of this group is the financial opportunity. But raise your hand if you don't have to speak. I just want you all to raise your hand if you've had a personal, physical, or internal transformation because of these products. Right? So I love it. That's where it all starts, right? So I can't kick off, as being the clinician that I am, and being a product girl for years, I can't start the call without just acknowledging the product. But now we're going to dive into business. So the purpose of this team, the purpose of this group is a 30-day boot camp. My goal is to coach you all to manager by the end of the month. And you know, I personally, February 28th will be my entering into my third year with Isogenics. And looking back, you all know my story. I worked full time until I had my baby. And there was one thing I really wished that I had when I came into this, and I finally decided I was interested in the business. And that was, honestly, to be spoon-fed day by day, just a little bit of information to train me methodically and get me where I needed to go while I was learning. And it just wasn't in place when I came in, and I just had to figure it out, and it was a big jumbled mess. And I attended events, and I learned a lot from my upline, but there was nothing really organized. And so I personally have painstakingly put together this curriculum for brand new people. So if you've been in on our team for a while, and you're here to learn and you're here to build, just know that the purpose of this is going to be not only for you, but as you bring people in and you're recruiting and we get you to manager, those consultants that you're bringing in, those brand new associates who are interested in the business, we're going to fold them right on into this, and we're going to hit the reset button. We're going to fold them in at the beginning of the next month when we'll go back to the beginning of the curriculum. So I have broken down the training day by day on the Facebook page. And what I've tried to do is just do 4 to 5 assignments a week. And I start on Monday, and I usually end on Thursday or Friday. The purpose of that is so that for those of you who work crazy hours and travel a lot, there's not something being assigned every single day. And if you want to play catch up over the weekend, you can before the next week. Because I get it, like I've been there. But I also want to serve those who are super zealous and want to run with this and have really high aspirations. That's part of why I'm supporting this group. I want to be able to give you a nugget every single day for you to take action and move forward. So you're going to get out of this training what you put into it. That's all I can say. It's up to you. You know, you have chosen to become this entrepreneur with this amazing company. And that's one thing we'll talk about before we end these 30 days is what are you using to motivate yourself to keep you taking action every day. But you know, my one disclaimer for all of you, and a couple of you have already experienced it, I am here to coach you. I am here to support you. I am pouring into you because that's my goal right now, is to create leaders. Having said that, if you come to me with a question about something that's already been posted on the 30-Day Fast Track, I'm going to send you back to that post to learn it before I talk to you. So if you're coming to me about cost objections, or you're coming to me about the compensation, if you're coming to me about messaging, I'm going to send you back to the page for you to do your homework, and then we can talk. I'll be happy to fill in the gaps. But I've put this together because if there's one thing I've learned about network marketing, duplication is critical. And so I truly believe that if we can create this training page and make it lock solid, like every single month you can funnel people in and you know the content, you can duplicate it. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to do the training. You're just going to recruit people and funnel them in, and they'll get trained, and you can support as you go along because all the material is going to be there. So that is that. Let's see. So let me move on. So that's just a little bit about the page. One thing about logistics, there's also a thread. Some of us are really savvy with Facebook and Messenger because we've been using it to build a business. And some of you are brand spanking new to this and you're like, oh my God, like, this is just too much. I get it. The only reason I put together the thread, not to make it really confusing for you guys, because I know there's a lot of Facebook threads, it's to have, you're all in the same cohort. There are many of you in this group. This is your first month that you are working towards building a business. This is your very first month that you are talking about the products to anybody. So it's really nice. I don't want to use the word isolate. It's really nice to aggregate those who are in the same development with their business so that you guys can kind of chatter amongst yourselves, but know that you're going through the same training at the same time. So, you know, so the thread I'm using to let you guys know when I'm going live, let you know, also to celebrate, because you guys are all in this group together. We had some phenomenal consultants come forward this week and last week. Kim's on the brink of manager, and even though her daughter's got the flu. So we want to cheer each other on too. I want you guys to see that this is possible and that those folks within your cohort are doing it, right? And learn from each other. So that's the purpose of the thread. So don't get confused. The thread's just kind of a support piece. The Facebook page is where all the resources will be posted. And I've painstakingly titled them so that you can go back to the very beginning and assign a week 1 assignment 1, week 1 assignment 2. If you go to the search function of the Facebook page, you can go back. If now all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I've missed like this past week, but I really want to go back and just, go back to where you've left off and pick back up. Okay. And I'm loving your engagement, and you guys can learn from each other with what you're sharing. So the next thing I want to move into is just, you're all here for different reasons financially. I think some of you just want to get your products paid for. Some of you want to be ISA millionaires. Some of you want to match your corporate income. Some of you want to retire your spouses. Some of you just want to save money for your kids, college. Some of you want to retire early. So you all have different financial goals, and that's great. We all have goals somewhere in what we're trying to achieve. My personal focus with where I am and why I drove this business was for choice. And I guess this kind of gets into my why along with my financial goal. But it's, for many of us that are on the line, it's actually not so much about the money. Even though the money is nice, it's more about the freedom, right? To pursue and do what we really want to do. And so for me, pursuing this business, even though I matched my corporate income, it wasn't really for the money. It was for the choice in living my life the way I want to live. And I just want all of you to know that you are on the #1 income earning team in the world for a reason. They are #1, and that's because of all the tools and the resources and the coaching that they provide. If you have a goal that is as high as becoming an Isagenix millionaire, I want you to know that you can do it. If you simply want to get your products paid for, we're here to coach you on how to do that. No goal is too big or too small, but I want you to know that any goal is obtainable depending on how much work you're willing to put in, right? So a couple of statistics real quickly. Our company is in absolute vertical growth. I don't know if you're aware, but we've been around for about 15 years. And we've created about 250 millionaires, 150 of which have been created in the past 4 years. 150 have been created in the past 4 years. Some of you come from maybe a more like numbers financial background. Hopefully that like resonates with you, that this company is in absolute vertical growth. The market is ripe. The opportunity is there. It's the right company. It's the right compensation. It's the right culture. It's the right time. So again, you couldn't have locked arms with a better company, and we're just here to support you. So let's move on about this #1 income earning team. The one thing I really wanted to spend time on tonight was around training outside of just this page. And then I'm going to open up for questions. So don't worry, I'm not going to talk forever. Because I think that it can get overwhelming, all the resources. We've got this training page for you guys, which is designed for you to learn at your own pace. But I want you to know that because we're on the #1 income earning team in the world, that's because of the Cepedas. The Cepedas, and my computer's about to run out of batteries. Hang on one second. The Cepedas are the #1 income earners in the world. And guys, we are so lucky. We are so lucky. We have access to their training every single day. People pay hundreds of dollars and travel across the country to listen to this guy speak once a year. And we get him on a call every day of the week for 30 minutes. He's made $20 million in this business. You think he knows what he's doing? And it just dawned on me, and we'll get to this in a minute, but Jessica Johnston and Susan Miller were enrolled by him, and they're Isagenix millionaires in their own right. They got huge right as I came in, and they broke off from the Cepedas and started their own calls, which is great. Those are the calls a lot of you are already dialing into. The GET calls, the Global Exec Team calls. They are part of the Cepeda team. They just got so big, they decided to break off and do their own thing. A lot of us are dialing into those 8 to 8:30 calls, which is phenomenal. Just remember that if you want to hear Herb Cepeda speak, jump on his calls on Wednesdays and Fridays from 8:30 to 9. He's phenomenal. I've really started to weave that into my own best practice, and I'm learning so much from him. So let me break this down for you. There's the Cepeda team, and there's the Global Exec team. Both of them offer calls daily, every day. Don't feel pressure to listen to every single one of them back to back every single day. Do what works for you. Do what works for you, but use it to stay motivated and use it to learn. I personally had to get my head out of a hole about a year into this business and realized that I couldn't learn this all on my own. And I finally kind of checked my ego at the door and realized these like millionaires on the team and multiple 6-figure income earners that were running these calls probably knew what they were talking about. So maybe I should dial in for their free education. So if you're not plugging in, dude, you are totally missing the boat. I mean, my 30-day fast track's nice and all, but these guys are experts. You're totally missing the boat if you're not dialing in. Are they recorded? Absolutely. Where can you access that? Guess what? I posted it in the 30-day fast track. Go back and find it. The Cepeda team calls, everything about the Cepedas is automated, and that's what I love. If you go back to my Facebook page, if you go back to my post on this, you can register with BSEP Free, which is it's the Herb Cepeda team, and you can get text messages. I get text. There's a call tonight. You could have sent prospects tonight. There's a dial-in information to learn about the products. I get text every day about what the Cepedas are offering every day, and I have a link, and I can copy it, and I can fire it off to prospects, whether it's about the financial opportunity, whether it's about the products, whether it's about being coached to cleanse. If you're not using the tools, you're spinning your wheels, and you're going to get really tired, right? So go in and sign up for that today. The GET calls, same thing. You can go in and listen to those recorded while you're doing your dishes. You can go in and do them while you're doing your laundry, long commute. Everybody's got dead time at some point. Okay, that's that. You've got the resources. So the last thing I want to say on getting trained, and then we're going to dive into questions. Super Saturday, 2 words, Super Saturday, March 17th. Please write it down. Please get here if you can physically make it possible. A lot of your leaders are going to be speaking. Jessica Johnston is going to be speaking. Amanda Ham is going to be speaking and training. Andrea LaBouchère, myself included. People like Jessica, you know, it's an intimate setting with just a lot of the GET team, and you're going to get the opportunity to experience the culture and get some just phenomenal training. For those of you who are Irish, I get it. It's St. Patrick's Day, Liz, but we're going to be out by 3. Okay. We're going to be out by 3. So you can go, you know, go drink some beer. And then cleanse a couple days later. So please, and here's the deal. Don't just come. Don't just come. I challenge you. If you're going to come, bring 2 people. Bring 2 people and let them get blown away. I'm pretty sure guests are free. It's super cheap. It's like $10 or $20 anyway. And it's for one day. Okay. If enough people come, we'll get together and go to dinner either Friday or Saturday night. The second event, if you're on the line, you're interested in the business. If you're interested in the business, unless you have a massive excuse, you should be at Celebration. Otherwise, it's liking it to being in a corporate job. Like you have national training. We all have national training. You can't miss Celebration. If you are on this line, you want to build a business. If you want to build a business, you have to make it to our once-a-year competition, our once-a-year celebration, which brings me to, you can get there for free, right? I don't know who was on the call today. I don't know who's seen the posts, but you can get to Celebration for free. They're running a corporate promotion right now for a number of enrollments. I'll break it down for you. 5 to 7 enrollments this month, you get $200 cash. 8 to 9 enrollments this month, you also get $500 travel allowance. And 10 or more enrollments, you also get a hotel bonus. So guess what? If you enroll 10 people this month, first of all, you're going to make a ton in PIB, and you're definitely going to rank advanced to consultant. You may rank advanced to manager, but you're going to have Celebration paid for. You're going to have it paid for. So make it your goal. If cost is your only excuse, enroll 10 people. Just start talking, right? Okay, so I've chatted a lot. Make sure you've looked at my 3-way call competition, because I'm excited to support you guys on that over the next 2 weeks. I think it's really going to help you guys stack a bunch of enrollments over the next couple of weeks and get you to Celebration for free. So I'm kind of excited I rolled it out at the same time. But I'm going to stop blabbering. I know we started late because of the call situation. And I'm going to open it up for questions. So who's got questions? Some of you are really new. Maybe it doesn't matter what the question is. It could be a stumbling block in talking about the products. It could be logistics or organization around things. Who's got questions?
Hey, Melissa, I have a question.
Sure.
It's Christine. For the competition, I know in the past, if we did this 3-way calls, I know it's the person who's doing a lot of the calls can also participate. So just don't be afraid being the 3-way person, but you can still participate as well. So if yours is being pulled to like 15 calls by 10 other people, it doesn't really matter because she has 15 calls scheduled. So it's not just the person who is calling their upline for 3-way calls, it's also the upline who is doing the calls with their team. So, or sideline, upline, doesn't matter. Like you're doing the call. So I just wanted to clarify that, right?
That's a great point. So that should motivate our leaders on the line to make themselves available. And something really resonated with me that Carol Elizabeth said this morning, and that was if you're having a dip in your own recruitment, support your team. Be available for them for 3-way calls, right? If you've got blanks in your calendar, reach out to your team. Who can I help, right? That's a good point, Christine. Yep.
Oh, and then just a little bit of addition to same rules apply as far as the January Jolt and Welcome Back promotion went. So if you have a lot of folks with the Welcome Back, if they do come back in February with 150 BV, that counts towards as a new enrollment.
Oh, that's
so
a great point.
Please go back. I know I kind of slacked off in January and I only picked and choose who I want to reach out for my Welcome Back. But guess what? I have a second chance and I'm not missing out. So
Right.
Go back to your reports, and the welcome back challenge report updates every single day because it's based on their enrollment date. So refresh that screen every day, look at your report, and start scheduling those calls.
That's a great point. And also, speaking of extending some of the deadlines, they also extended the deadline for the discounted celebration tickets. Mm-hmm. So if you have not purchased your celebration ticket yet, I've already posted it in our 30-day fast track. Go find the link. It was one of the assignments last week, and get your ticket. Get it before it helps in cost. All right. Thank you, Christine. What other questions do you guys have? I heard somebody else speaking earlier.
That was me, Melissa, and Christine already clarified it. Thank you.
Awesome. I know Nevia had a great question. I'm going to call her out and unmute her. This is for the newbies on the line who've just enrolled somebody for the first time.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Nevia.
Hi. Yeah, my question today was that I received my first message saying that I will be receiving my first commission, which I was like, yay! But it says that it will be deposited in my Isagenix card, and I didn't know what that meant, if I was going to physically receive a card or that meant that it's going to be accredited like to the card that I'm that is attached to my account.
That's a great question, and it's good for everybody to know this on the line. When you enroll your first person and you get your first PIB, it's assigned to an Isagenix, what we call ISA wallet card. It takes a couple of weeks for that card to be shipped to you, and the money will be loaded on it. Now, it's a debit card. It's not a like a gift card. I've had people think it was a gift card and they've thrown it away. It's a compensation card. They load money on it every time you enroll someone. Now, the great thing is, once you get it in the mail, you'll have instructions on how to activate it. When you get to you may want to keep it on the card. When you get to where it's your income, like it is for me, I actually transfer it bi-weekly into my checking account. You can choose up to like 5 accounts as well. Like I have a business account and a family checking account, and I kind of diversify where the money goes. So you can route it to different checking accounts, or you can just spend it on the card. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Melissa.
You're welcome. And if you earn over $600, you'll get a 1099 from the company so that you can use it for tax purposes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, what other questions do we have? Who's got questions? Blady had a great question earlier today. I'm going to call you out, Blady.
Yeah, I'm right here.
What was your question?
Well, as a newbie, we always get confused on what to say at the beginning, and I get freaked out with the question, what do you do? So in my head, I think of many answers, but I would like to hear what is your advice for us?
Right. So we get that all the time, right? Where people just, it's like an open door. People ask you, well, what do you do? And all of you guys, most of you have a full-time job, right? So then how do you weave in Isagenix so that you can have a conversation about it? And so Blady, I will share with you what I say, and then I would love to have some of the other leaders on the line share what they say, and anyone on the line share what they say. So for me, up until I quit my job, I would say, and I loved this tagline when I was like, this is good for like you, Amanda, when I was on airplanes, and Dawn and Beth, when I was traveling a lot, and people would just ask, what do you do for a living? And I would say, oh, I'm a medical director for a pharmaceutical company. That's my day job, but my passion and what I love to do is to, I've partnered with a health and wellness company, and I'm improving the health of lives globally, and I'm having a blast doing it. And typically when I say something like that, their follow-up question is not about my day job as a medical director. They usually lean in and are like, really? Huh, interesting. So tell me more. Or I may say something like, well, I've partnered with this health and wellness company that's focused on improving world health. And in the meantime, also, it's been a massive financial opportunity for me, and I'm about to quit my day job, or I'm working towards quitting my day job because of the financial opportunity with this company. So, if you want to make sure to drop a little bit of financial opportunity in there, you can. I certainly did, especially if you're going for the business right now. A lot of people are more comfortable in the product arena and just talking product and bringing in product users, and that's fine too. I did that for 3 years. That's fine. But you can also lead with the business. So good question, Blady. I'm going to open it up to the rest of the group. Who wants to share? What do they do?
Hey, Blady, it's Dawn.
Hey, Dawn, share with us. What do you do?
I stole from Melissa, and I say it's my side hustle. So I'll say, my day job is I work for a pharmaceutical company. However, my side hustle is really my passion, and it's I help people get healthy. And that's really how I talk about it. It depends like where the conversation is going, what avenue I go down, but I have been very strategic now of talking to people that I know want a financial opportunity, because people that are professional, busy, they're looking for something else. They're looking for something, because the market is not stable. So that's really, I'm talking about the business, and I've been stealing a lot of verbiage from Melissa where I say, look, we already know that, just take my word for it. The products are valid, and I can send you information on that later. Let's talk about the financial opportunity.
Yep.
So, and then I quickly set up a 3-way call and let Melissa do her spiel, because it's beautiful. I'm just saying.
There you go. Well, and that's the thing. That's what I want you guys to get out of this, is that you don't have to be the expert. And there's so many resources, and there's so many scripts, and there's so many files, and there's so much stuff, and there's so many pages. At the end of the day, you're new. You're new to the products. You've had a transformation. You're learning about the business, and you're not supposed to be an expert. All you have to do is connect your network with your upline and let your upline help you do the work. Because if you succeed, we succeed, and you learn as you pull us in, and then ultimately you get to do it better than we do. So it's really a matter of just making the connection to people and saying, hey, I am totally new at this. The products have been phenomenal. I've just recently learned about this massive financial opportunity with the products. I'd love to connect you with my friend who was able to quit her job because of these products, if you'd want to hear a little bit more. I mean, it's that simple. You don't have to stumble through sounding like you know what you're talking about if you don't know what you're talking about, right? Like, keep it simple. That's what makes it not weird. If you're just completely yourself. I did it all the time with Amanda. I brought her into so many 3-way calls in the beginning. She finally had to cut me off. She was like, okay, Melissa, I think you know the products better than I do. You can bring me in for a business call, but I'm done with product call with you. But that's what we're here for. So I love it, Dawn. Thank you. Who else wants to talk about what do they do? Let's see. What other leaders do we have on the line here? I know we've got.
Melissa, this is Beth. I'll share.
Sure.
Yeah, so my story is very similar to Melissa's. I really, I'm a healthcare professional in my day job, and I'm also partnering with a health and wellness company as an entrepreneur, and sharing the beauty of these wonderful health and wellness products. And really, that's where I go. I mean, I really don't go much further than that, other than pique interest. Yeah. And if you're really curious, it's taking it to the next step and connecting them with resources. So it's the same as when we're talking products. You don't have to be the expert. And I don't ever claim to be an expert, but I will be the expert at where they need to go to learn more.
I love it. And it's just like the 30-second story. You nailed it, Beth, and I didn't even really bring this up. This is why you guys are brilliant. Is to keep it short, to pique interest, and then shut up, because they're going to want to ask more questions. And it's been hard for me. In my first year, I threw up on people. In my second year, I was still throwing up on people about everything. I'd be on a flight and the poor suspect beside me would, get an earful about Isagenix and the financial opportunity and the products, like all the way from North Carolina to California. And, it's interesting the evolution I've made in my dialogue and realizing that I need to pique interest and allow people to ask me questions. I need to be interesting enough that they want to learn more. And so I love that. I love that, Beth. Who else? Anybody else want to share? Trying to see who. Tammy Fry, what do you do for a living? I'm going to call you out. Unmute you. You're not on your treadmill anymore, I don't think. Maybe she is. Tammy, can you speak? I saw her a second ago. Do you guys see her? I don't know where she went. All right, you get a pass because I don't see you anymore. Oh, there you are. Hang on. I can't hear you.
Just
I
muted. Tap muted on.
There you go.
Okay. My equipment. Okay. I normally just say that I've partnered with one of the largest nutritional companies in the world. That's usually what I say, and I just leave it at that.
Yep, that's awesome. It's simple enough, right? And then people are like, partner, what does that mean? Largest nutrition company, what is that? What kind of nutrition? Like, how is this a financial opportunity? What does it do for people, right? I mean, that's really vague. It makes people ask more. I love it.
Right.
Hey, Amy, sorry to call you out.
No, you're fine.
All right. Anybody else want to share? All right. Allie, I'm going to call you out, and then I'll stop calling out people. What do you do for a living, Allie?
Oh, well, I'm a nurse. So whenever I'm in the hospital, nobody questions what I do for a living because I got a big old badge that says RN. And then when I'm outside, normally I have an Isagenix cup with me. And if somebody says, hey, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I'm a nurse, but this is really what I do. And just they will say, like, what is it? And I'm like, it's a health and wellness company. Mm-hmm. We get people healthy, kind of. I don't know. I'm terrible at that. And I that's not my comfort level.
No, I think that's great. I absolutely think it's great. And I think you bring, what's that?
People look at you like you're crazy.
No. And the shaker bottle is a great talking point. It's funny how often we get, oh, that's like the one from the blender, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy the blender at NYKO?
Did, and it's amazing.
I should have bought one.
Oh, you should have. It's amazing.
I'm going to have to get a value pack just so I get one. Awesome. Well, thank you. Any other questions you guys have? It's 15 after, and I want to wrap it up.
Hey, Melissa, I have a question. It might be loaded. You might want to take it offline, but I have someone on that's very new and hasn't become a consultant yet. It's talking about where would you place your spouse and what's the strategy behind that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's standard protocol. We always put spouses on an inside leg. So this is where I'll say, if you haven't watched the compensation video yet, definitely go watch that. It will help you understand placement. But we have an outside leg, which is a leg we share team volume with. And we have an inside leg, which is our focus leg. when you're first beginning to build your business, you really want to put as many people as you can based on the pace at which you build on your outside team leg and get some momentum with the volume. However, in order to rank advanced to consultant, you have to have one enrollment on your focus leg and your team leg, your inside and outside leg. I use those interchangeably. So focus leg is inside leg, team leg is outside leg, because the outside leg is where there's shared volume. Back to your question, spouses help people hold their consultant position when they first start. And long-term, financially, it makes sense because of where they're placed. When you're done building out your team leg, you're going to go build out your focus leg. And you're going to spend, it's called your focus for a reason. You focus on it, right? So once your team leg's running, all your enrollments are going to run down your focus leg. And then all those enrollments are strategically under your spouse. Your spouse has been put in a spot where moving forward with your business, every enrollment that comes in is going to go in under them. So Jake is my top cycler on my team. I mean, he cycled 17 times last week. So it behooves you to put your spouse on your inside leg. And you get match, once you get to exec, you get match cycles off of it. So Jake cycled 17 times. So we got those 17 cycles on top of my cycles, and we got 1.7 cycles, because you get 10% of his cycles when you're an exec. We'll talk about that one day soon on one of the Thriving Thursdays calls with Amanda's team. I think a lot of people don't actually understand the huge financial benefits to being at exec. I mean, you're throwing away a lot of money every week if you're not at exec and you've got a team building under you. It's a good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? This is the time. I'm open mic.
Melissa?
Yeah. Hey, Rhonda.
Hi. Hey, so if we're working with someone and they have a question, you have a client and someone has a product question or something, what is the best way that we can go and get answers for those?
I think the best, you know what, I saw that you posted a question and I didn't have time to get to it this evening. The best place to post a product question is where you're going to have the largest audience. So like our 30-day fast track group, you've only got 2 or 3 leaders on that group and everyone else is brand spanking new. So nobody's really going to be able to help answer that question. But if you go to a larger thread, like the Residual Rock Stars thread, which actually some of the newbies on the line don't even know what that is, because I'm holding off on adding people to more pages until they're done with the first 30 days. So they're not overwhelmed with all the pages that we have. But when you get added to those larger pages, that's a great place to go. Or you can just message me directly. But if you put the message in a large group thread, like Residual Rockstars is our largest group thread, you're going to have a quicker response rate. You're not like if you send it to just me, you're going to be waiting on just me to answer it. If you dump it into Residual Rockstars, first of all, you're not the only one with that question. So if you ask and someone else answers, other people are going to learn from that. But also you have a lot of leaders that are in and out of that can share the answer for you. So you have a higher likelihood of getting a response a lot faster.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Melissa, I have another question, and it really probably tags on to what Rhonda just asked. Which threads are appropriate, or which pages are appropriate to add people to?
Yeah, right? That's the trick question. So I personally think we end up being desensitized to it because we've been in it for so long. But when you bring in new people and you start adding them to a bunch of Facebook pages and a bunch of threads, they get overwhelmed and feel like they can't do it. And I actually had like a meltdown moment myself when I was about 1.5 years in, and I was in a brand new job, and I was just trying to keep my head above float in my day job, and like all these messages and Messenger and Facebook pages, and I just had anxiety because I just could not keep up, and I just gave up. Like for probably a month or 2, I was just like, I give up. I can't do this. It's just too much. And so you raise a really good question, Beth, because I think we freak people out which is why some newbies on the line, like I think Nevia, and maybe if Nellie's on the line, I've got a couple of new folks that I haven't added to any pages except the 30-day fast track for now and the ramp effect. And then once they hit consultant, I'll add them to the global exec page and the residual rock stars page and explain to them why I've added them to that page and announce them as new leaders, you know, as they've rank advanced. And then at some point I'll fold in Make Your Mark, not because I think any less or more of Make Your Mark, it's just too many team pages. And then there's my team page, right? And that one I'm just using really to push promotions and stuff. I'm not using that right now with like a coaching page like we are with Residual Rock Stars. So I wouldn't even really worry about that page right now until I'm pushing some, you know, entire team promotion or something like that. I tend to think that we have too many threads, we have too many pages, and I like to ease people in. A lot of new people aren't used to managing Messenger and Facebook pages anyway. I learned that after a week of creating this. I thought, oh, this is perfect. I'll create a Facebook page and then I'll put a thread that goes along with it. And that way we can chatter on the side, but then we can see the content on the page. And then I had some people coming in who A, rarely use Facebook, and B, are like, where's the assignment? I'm seeing this messenger thing, but I'm so confused. So like, I think we get desensitized to that. And the one thing I've learned running this training group is with the next training group, the first thing I'll do is have a kickoff call and a tutorial on the Facebook page and the messenger and why we're using it together. So that's a long-winded answer for you, but I like to ease people in and not overwhelm, because when we overwhelm, people do nothing. And they also think they can't manage it. They're missing out on too much stuff. They can't catch up, and then they just quit. Now, this is a good time for me to mention, Renee is starting a new, basically like a 30-day fast track today, which is probably confusing for people because I started this one 2 weeks ago. Don't let it be overwhelming. It's basically going to be the exact same thing. I personally and our team just had so many new people. I couldn't wait to start training people. I needed to train like 3 weeks ago. So if you've got new people that you're enrolling and the timing is right and you want to fold them into Renee's training page, that's fine. We're actually sharing the content. It's like the same freaking thing. I just couldn't wait 2.5, 3 weeks to get you guys moving because I had so many people we had enrolled in January that were interested in the business and needed to be trained. So totally, you know, up to you. I will be resetting this training again 2 weeks from now when we're finished with the curriculum. It's a 4-week curriculum. What else?
Oh, hey, Melissa, I had a question regarding one for people who speak Spanish only, because I do speak a lot of Spanish, but not maybe to the extent to explain to them the system and all the financial opportunities that there is. And also, where do I plug them in? Like, what do I send them? Because I just went to like YouTube and looked up isogenics like in Spanish and kind of went over, and I saw that they have the subtitle video, which from the corporate, which I did send this person, but I don't know if there's any other groups or within our group.
That's a great question. For the business opportunity, is that what you were saying?
Well, business and product. She's doing Avon, and so I think that she might be slightly interested in business too.
Right.
So I would like to get her started like with both.
That's great. So what I can tell you from a product standpoint, and these girls probably don't want me to call them out because they're a little bit shy, but Lady, and I don't know if she's still on the line, but Lady knows the products really well. And Lorena knows the products really well as well. And these two girls have been using the products for, Lady, how long have you been using the products? I'm gonna call you out. Like 8 months?
9 months, I think.
9 months.
9 months. Okay.
Yeah, and Blady is obviously fluent in Spanish. She's from Colombia.
Right.
Her upline Lorena enrolled her about what, like Lorena's been on the products for 6 or 7 months longer than you have. Right? They're both very, I mean, they're very knowledgeable about the products. But I think you raise a really good question that I think that maybe our Spanish-speaking teammates, if we could come together and create something, I think it would be awesome. Because I know Blady is doing a lot of marketing back to Colombia. So it would be nice to have those resources, even if you all come together and create it yourselves. And I can work with you guys on the content, but then obviously you guys could maybe present it. So I could help you with the content, and then you could create a YouTube video based on the content that we create, and funnel in. And we just do some coaching with our Spanish team, and you guys, Spanish-speaking team, and you guys run with it. You guys can lead with the business. You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
just
would be
remembered.
great.
Oh, Susanna, I just remembered actually during some of our corporate team events, there are specific people assigned for Spanish speaking only. So if you just call the corporate and just say who is the person assigned to your region, which is Florida, and they'll give you their contact information. And these people are specifically assigned to help international. Okay? And so you can call them. That's a good start. And also, Carol Elizabeth has a huge team in Mexico. They're the number one in Mexico. So you might, find out her leaders are. Maybe they can also help out, just as a backup too. But some of the material we want to recreate might be already there by the corporate. So feel free to reach out to them. And ISO Sales Tools actually has a lot of videos in Spanish as well. Like Kathy Coover has a message in Spanish, some product stuff in Spanish. So there's stuff out there.
Right, I did find something with the Spanish subtitle, so I sent her that.
Right. Yeah, I think the question is anyone on our team fluent enough in Spanish to really just lead with the business?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I really appreciate the tools and the stuff that we have. I love that, Christine, and that's definitely a leaping off point. But I still think it would be nice to create some leaders within our team that Spanish is their native language, and they can lead with confidence about the financial opportunity. That's one of my dreams. That's one of my goals. I know Nevia's on the line. We've got Blady. We've got Lorena. We definitely have some Spanish-speaking folks, and I think we can rise up some leaders within our team and have our own team expert.
Oh yeah.
That would be great. It's more personal. It's people that that you're putting them in contact with versus them talking to somebody that's not even on our team. I think that would be great. Another question I had is, let's say if I have people that are not on Facebook, because I think it does have to be in part of a team, like a ramp effect. Where do you, if any of you have people who are not on Facebook, what do you plug them into to kind of get motivated? Because you give them the phone number for the morning calls and you follow up with them, but I'm not sure, if that's enough or if they're doing it on their own.
So to motivate them with the business or with the products?
With both, just in general, to keep them motivated and to see that there's more out there.
Yep. So if you go back to one of my assignments, I honestly can't remember which week it was, but one of the things I talk about is having a one-stop shop. And I use this all the time in leading with the business. It's my one talking point, is the getfree.global page, www.getfree.global.
Right.
That can be a resource for them to go to. And then there's www.getfit.global. And the passwords are, again, all of this is on the training page like a week or two ago.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I did
that's
see
okay.
that. I don't know. It didn't really hit me like to
Yeah, no, if you're
send them there. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's
If
right.
you're
I don't know. In my head, I was thinking Facebook, like that, as if that's like an extension of Facebook. But
yeah, if
yeah.
you're asking that question, there's probably other people online that are wondering the same thing. So that's what I've been sending people that don't have Facebook accounts, is I just send them to the webpage. Or maybe it's someone that I don't want to be Facebook friends with. Maybe it's, well, this day and age, actually, there's nobody I wouldn't want to be Facebook friends with. But in my corporate career, my direct reports could not, it was my policy. I wasn't going to be friends with them on Facebook. So, I just sent them the web pages. So you can use the web pages.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. And then there's the live calls. Monday nights is product. Wednesday nights is opportunity. If you're not using those, man, I've sent people to those every week. Let the company work for you.
I had another question regarding that for Patty and Herb. A lot of times it's a time that I'm like going to work, so I can listen to them. You know, for the Get Team calls, I can go back and listen to them. Yep. But is there a place that I can go back and listen to there, like the Patty and Herb calls?
Yep, you can. So if you go back to the assignment that I posted a couple days ago that gives you that information about the Get calls and the Cepeda calls, you can go in and get yourself registered with bsetfree.com is their webpage, the Cepedas. And if you go in there and get enrolled, they just need your Isagenix ID in order for them to verify that you're actually on their team. And then you have access to their webpage and you can listen to all their calls. You have all access. And you can send a text message to remind you of all the calls and the links. Real time. They'll come to you like 10 minutes before every call, and it's right there on your phone.
Okay, yeah, I do get those, and I think I did sign up, but yours like 2 years ago or when, so I didn't realize. Yeah, that I just go back to that same website and then I can listen to the recording.
You got it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions do you guys have? These are good. It's late. All right. I got to be at Orange Theory at 5 a.m. tomorrow, which means I have to get up before 5.
Okay.
This has been awesome. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Definitely feel free to send me feedback. This is brand new. I've never done it before. I'm just trying to create something I wish I had when I first started. So again, I am completely open to feedback, good, bad, what you like, what you don't like, what you want more of, what you want less of. Send me messages, because this is your page too. As you recruit people, we're going to use it to train them. So if you see an opportunity to improve it, let me know. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, have a good evening. I will convert this to a recording so people who missed it can join later. All right. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Melissa.
Bye.
Buddy.
Bye.